The process begins inside a factory that quietly shifts into seasonal mode as Christmas approaches. Here, production slows just enough to prioritize care, even while operating at industrial scale. This is where traditional Christmas fruitcakes start long before they reach decorated shelves or family tables. Large quantities of ingredients arrive and are staged with precision across the production floor. Dried fruits, nuts, flour, sugar, and spices are carefully organized, each component measured and inspected. What feels like a simple recipe at home becomes a tightly controlled operation when thousands of cakes are involved. Workers and automated systems operate side by side, each playing a specific role in the process. Ingredients are weighed and transferred in a precise order, where timing matters as much as quantity. Even at this early stage, nothing is rushed, allowing the process to remain stable and repeatable. Industrial mixers come to life designed to handle the heavy, dense mixture required for fruitcakes. Unlike lighter batters, this mixture moves slowly, folding fruits and ingredients together without damage. The goal is uniformity, ensuring every cake will bake and set in exactly the same way. This stage already hints at why fruitcakes are closely tied to Christmas traditions. Color, texture, and density all begin to take shape inside these mixers. Once the mixture reaches the correct consistency, it moves directly toward the depositing systems. The batter flows slowly, guided carefully to maintain structure and prevent separation. Depositors release measured portions into individual molds, ensuring each cake begins exactly the same. Portion control here determines not only appearance but texture and moisture later on. Rows of filled molds advance together, creating a steady visual rhythm along the line. Before baking begins, alignment and fill levels are checked automatically. Uniformity at this stage prevents uneven baking once the cakes enter the ovens. The transition into the oven marks a turning point in the process. Baking fruitcakes is not about speed, but time, balance, and controlled heat. Inside the ovens, the transformation happens slowly and evenly. Moist batter gradually becomes structured cake as ingredients bind together. Temperature sensors monitor conditions continuously to maintain consistency. Although unseen, this is where the familiar warmth associated with Christmas baking truly forms. While cakes bake, the line behind them never stops, preparing the next wave. This continuous flow allows tradition to be reproduced reliably at industrial scale. And this is only the beginning of the journey these Christmas cakes will take. As the cakes exit the ovens, the pace of the process changes, but control remains just as important. Heat is no longer applied, yet temperature management continues through carefully spaced conveyors. Cooling here is gradual by design, allowing the dense structure of the fruitcakes to stabilize. Rushing this step would risk cracking, collapse, or uneven texture inside the cake. At industrial scale, even cooling becomes an engineered process rather than a passive pause. Sensors continue monitoring internal temperatures as the cakes move forward. Each cake must reach the same thermal point before handling can safely begin. Once stabilized, the cakes approach automated demolding stations. Mechanical systems release each cake from its mold using synchronized, gentle movements. There is no shaking or sudden force, preserving the familiar shape people expect. As molds lift away, the cakes remain perfectly aligned on the conveyor. Alignment matters here, as even slight shifts can affect later decoration and packaging. Cameras verify positioning in real time, ensuring consistency across the entire line. Immediately after release, the cakes enter visual inspection zones. High-resolution cameras scan surfaces for cracks, color variation, or irregular texture. Inspection is continuous, not selective, and every cake is evaluated. At the same time, trained staff oversee the process, confirming visual standards. This balance between automation and human oversight protects quality without slowing production. Only cakes that meet strict criteria continue forward. With structure and appearance confirmed, the process turns toward finishing. Some cakes receive additional fruit toppings, carefully placed to enhance flavor and appearance. Dispensers apply precise amounts, repeating the same motion thousands of times. Bright fruit pieces contrast with the dark, rich cake beneath. This visual detail is part of what makes fruitcakes feel unmistakably seasonal. Even at scale, the goal is to recreate the familiar look associated with Christmas. Decoration systems work in rhythm with the line, maintaining consistency without losing character. At this stage, the cakes begin to resemble what families expect to see during the holidays. Tradition and technology come together most visibly here. With finishing complete, the cakes move toward final checks. Every step so far has prepared them for this last phase. Before packaging begins, each cake passes through final control points. Automated scales verify weight accuracy to ensure consistent portions. Any deviation is detected instantly and removed from the line. This final check protects everything that came before it. Only approved cakes continue forward toward packaging. At this point, the transformation is complete. What began as raw ingredients has become a finished holiday product. Packaging begins with protective wrapping applied carefully around each cake. This layer preserves freshness while preparing the cake for transport and storage. Wrapped cakes are grouped and placed into boxes automatically. Boxes are assembled, filled, and sealed without interrupting the flow. Every movement remains synchronized across the line. Finished boxes move into palletizing zones. Robotic systems stack them according to predefined patterns. Each pallet is built for stability and efficient transport. Automated vehicles carry pallets into organized storage areas. Inventory is tracked digitally as products wait for seasonal distribution. From here, these cakes will travel far beyond the factory walls. They are timed carefully to arrive when demand peaks during the holidays. Behind every cake on the shelf is a system built on repetition and control. What makes this process remarkable is how tradition is preserved at scale. The machinery may be modern, but the goal remains familiar. To recreate a product closely tied to family, celebration, and time of year. If you enjoy discovering how seasonal foods are made behind the scenes, consider subscribing. From everyday products to holiday traditions, these factories work quietly all year long. So when the moment arrives, everything is ready to be shared.